Todd here. Let's talk about Fitbits, specifically Fitbit smartwatches. This one is a Versa 4. My friends tried to convince me to get a Fitbit for years. When they first started telling me, you need to get one of these, they're pretty cool. Well, back at that time was prior to my surgery and when I was in pain at rest, meaning I was in pain 24/7, no matter what I was doing. And exercising and getting fit was not on the agenda for me. I was just trying to survive, really, trying to have a little bit of some kind of life every day. But things are different now. So when the time came that I had had surgery and I got some blood flow back to my legs and I decided, I had quit smoking, I was intent on losing some weight. I wanted to get some exercise, get some endurance back. Then it made sense to me, and they convinced me after all the badgering to get a Fitbit, and I did. And I didn't do it right away. I started my weight loss journey, if you will, on January 1st, 2024, and I didn't buy a Fitbit until November of 2024. So I've had it a couple of months now, and I got to tell you, I love it. How does a Fitbit help me? Well, it motivates me. And I don't know if you call that by guilt tripping me or just reminding me, or maybe you could say it encourages me. But if I sit here, I'm sitting at my desk. If I sit here in my computer, watching videos, editing video, whatever, and I'm not sure the criteria, but if enough time goes by and it sees that I haven't walked, I haven't moved, just sitting, it'll buzz me. It doesn't bug me to death. It'll just like about a 2 or 3 second vibration, and I can ignore it, and it won't do it again. Or I can look at it and it says, hey, you need to walk X amount of steps this hour. And I think what that is ever how many hours are left in the day, and divide the steps you need to meet your goal for that day divided by the hours that are left in that day is what it tells you. Hey, you need to walk this many steps this hour. Anyway, it's a reminder, hey, get your ass up and go walking or jogging or whatever the case may be. And I do. I think, you know what, you're right, I do. Even if it's just getting up out of my chair and walking around the block, what I call the short block, just my block. That's about 0.33 miles or 0.35, third of a mile, give or take. And that's 5, 6, 7 minutes. And I'm back at my chair editing my video, whatever. It's not that long a break, but I got some steps in and, progress toward the goal. And the other thing is I can check at any point in the day, like right now, my goal is set at 10,000 steps per day. I reset it recently. I made a video about that, and my resolution, my commitment was to walk 10,000 steps every day in January. And I can see how many steps I have left to get to that. Right now, I have walked 4,106 steps, and I have 5,894 left to meet my goal today. And I have not made my goal the last 2 days. Sorry about that. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit. That's not the Fitbit's fault. And I don't think it's my fault. It's not the weather's fault, but it did get cold. It not only got cold, the wind has just been howling. And man, you combine the moisture in the air, it's like wet, cold air, and the wind is just blowing. It's not that I wasn't committed to getting my 10,000 steps in. Sunday evening, about 8 o'clock, long after dark this time of year, I realized I still had about 2,000 steps to meet my 10,000, and I took off out the door. I didn't do the whole 2,000 in one session. I came back and rested a little bit, and then took off again, and I got over the 10,000. It wasn't quite that cold Sunday. It wasn't horrible. I'd just been busy and doing stuff and didn't get my steps in during the day like I should have. Well, anyway, Monday and Tuesday, today, the day of this video I'm making is Wednesday. Monday and Tuesday, it was a bit cold. and with the wind blowing so hard. And like, for instance, went for a walk in Jackson Street Park. I forgot my gloves. I didn't forget my walking stick. And there's a problem with the walking stick, and the wind's just blowing. I don't know how hard the wind's blowing, 20, 25 miles an hour. Wind is blowing. I was cold. And you can't put, one of your hands can't be in your pocket if you got a walking stick. And normally my walking stick stays in my right hand, but I was switching back and forth every few hundred feet. I walked that half-mile track one time. My face was getting kind of numb. My hands were cold. I got back in my vehicle. And I think yesterday I walked like 8,300 steps, and not that much, not that many on Monday. And that's the whole point of this video. It's about, I'm not disappointed in myself. I'm not discouraged. I easily could be. No, I didn't make my goal of 10,000 steps, but I walked all the steps that I was comfortable doing. And without this journey I'm on, and without starting to do this, and without having that in mind, and without the Fitbit's help, I wouldn't have walked half of the steps that I did walk. So it's all good. And I've learned that lesson over the last year plus. Many times in 2024, my weight, I'm trying to lose 75 or 80 pounds, a large amount of weight. And I thought I was eating a good low carbohydrate, no sugar diet, and that decline in weight should just be linear, down, 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 down. And the human body's a strange thing, a strange and wonderful thing, but there would be like a 10-day or 2-week period, my weight would just plateau. And I didn't feel like I had slipped up. I wasn't eating ice cream, and I wasn't eating double cheeseburgers and enchiladas and stuff, but my weight just wasn't coming down. But I would hang in there and have faith. If I just kept doing the right things, it would be easy to get discouraged and say, you know what, it's not working. I'm going to go and have me some refried beans and rice and 3 enchiladas and tortillas and chips and salsa and drink a couple of margaritas and just eat whatever I want to. And I'll even have some sopapillas. And when I get home from the Mexican restaurant, before I go to bed, have some Bluebell ice cream. That would be easy to do and kind of tempting. At least early on. I don't even dream about those things really anymore. But the point being, I kept the faith, and I want to encourage anybody that's doing what I'm doing or what I've done. If people that are in pain, hurting, and in poor health, or need to lose weight, if you set out to get better, and you have a plan, and you know what will work. The doctors will help tell you, and dietitians, and there's just plenty of information out there. When any of us that got in the kind of shape I was in, we know what we need to do. Sometimes that involves surgeries, and sometimes it just involves self-discipline, like the determination to, hey, I'm going to do all the things I need to do to get better. You can do it. I just always want to encourage people. I've come to the realization in my life, when it was at the worst, and I was constantly in pain, and I was way overweight, and I know I was really depressed. My life was shit. It was not fun. It was in 2023, the last year that I worked, I used all 12 weeks of my FMLA. And I had never done anything like that in my entire career, in my life, never dreamed that I ever would. But I had gotten to the point I was incapable of working. It was bad. When they were talking about amputating my legs, there were dark days. And Dr. Eidson is the one that really helped turn it around when he agreed to attempt to do a surgery that was no guarantee, several-hour surgery to try to get some blood flow back to my legs. That was the beginning of a new life for me. And I owe it to him and to myself to make the most of it. And I'm going to do that. I'm working on it. I'm working on it hard. And I get to go see him in about 2 weeks. And I can't wait for him to see that the weight I've lost. I promised him last year that I was going to lose a bunch when he saw me again, I would be a different person. And I want to get to show him that I kept my promise. Really looking forward to that. Anyway, I'm going to not prattle on, and I've been closing each video out about 3 times or 4 times lately. This time I'm just going to say thank you very much. I'm humbled and very appreciative of anybody that watches my channel. I want to encourage anybody that's out there that is struggling. Have faith in yourself. Have faith in God. That you can do it. Just set your mind to it. You can do it. I love you all very much. I'll see you next time.